Hi everyone, my name is Ona and I work for Aspen Adult Services. You're about to watch a video with my friend Brigitte Bellefleur. I asked her the question, what's your why? She serves on the board at Aspen. One thing you need to know before you watch this is that Wyatt is her son. And thank you, as always, for supporting Aspen. What did you want to be or do when you were growing up?
When I was a little girl, I had a book. It might have been a golden book, I'm not sure. But it was about a candy striper. And I remember the picture of her on the front of the book. She had this cute little apron on and the cute little hat. And she got to help patients. In the book, she delivered flowers and read letters and wrote letters from patients to their loved ones. And again, I just thought, that's what I'm going to do. I especially loved her uniform. So I thought I would be a candy striper. Of course, I didn't know that that's a volunteer gig until I was 17 and actually worked as a candy striper. And I never delivered flowers, and I never read letters or wrote letters. I carried some bedpans and emptied some bedpans, and I collected dishes after patients had eaten. So, of course, very, very valuable service, but not what I had thought it would be.
Or what is your background with people with disabilities?
I started in elementary ed, and as a part of that program, I had to complete several, I don't know if you'd call them internships, or I had to shadow people in other professions that were working within the field of special education. And I shadowed a woman who was an occupational therapist in an elementary school. And I just absolutely was overwhelmed by the work she was doing with children and thought, yep, my heart just went to working with children with disabilities at that point. But then I met a cowboy from Montana, and when he decided to move back to Montana, I followed him, and I ended up in Billings, and I thought, I'm going to look at the catalog, see what I might be interested in switching to. And vocational rehabilitation was a program offered at the time it was Eastern Montana College in Billings. And I thought, vocational rehabilitation, occupational therapy, that must be exactly the same thing. And so I went into the program of vocational rehabilitation, and it isn't the same thing at all. But the bottom line is I got to work with people with disabilities.
So what motivates you to be on the board at Aspen, other than us kicking?
When I retired from state vocational rehabilitation, very honestly, I was happy to retire. It was a great career, and in hindsight, I tried to just really focus on the opportunity it provided me to serve others. But the service of others, especially inside a bureaucracy, definitely had its challenges, especially toward the end of my 30-year career. So I was good with retirement, but felt that working with persons with disabilities had been such a big part of my life that to find a niche where I could still be somewhat involved, reading the stories and hearing what's happening at Aspen Adult Services, I wish that during my career I had been working with a program this dedicated to working well with persons with disabilities.
Thank you. That's a very nice compliment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do get that personal satisfaction, or I hope you do, of making the world a better place, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I asked you, what's your why? How would you answer that question?
I think about this a lot, maybe daily. After having lost Wyatt, your capacity as a mother remains. Your capacity to want to nurture doesn't just go away. And I think I've done some self-soothing by knowing that there's still more good to be done. Even though Wyatt is gone, there is more good to be done, and I pray almost daily that the Lord takes me to a place of knowing where those opportunities are, and however long I have left on this earth, I hope I use my days well by doing service, whatever that might look like. That's my why.